Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal. I am back with another video, and today I am bringing you guys yet again another toy review. This time is for Seige War For Cybertron Skytread, or as I knew him back in G1, was Flywheels. And you can see here as the Duocon self that he is, he has both a tank and a jet mode. There on the nice packaging art, we see the official poster there with the arc leaving the planet, and of course some nice packaging on the back showing all of his different modes and showing how he interacts with the battle masters, or as I'd like to say, target masters. Of course, international stuff. And without further ado, let's get him out of the package. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon. With your support, you can help us bring you more content like this. Okay, so here he is outside of his package. Here is Skytread, or I like to call him Flywheels. And in vehicle mode, he does look really awesome. He has, of course, it's two separate vehicles. You have, of course, the jet. Get some detailing on that. Nice Decepticon symbol there. You got a little bit of kibble. Not as much kibble as some, Transformers out there. The only kibble, of course, is the robot arms. But other than that, it's a really slick-looking jet. I like the fact that it does have molded blasters on the wings, so that you don't necessarily have to use the guns on the tank. And the tank looks really great. I like this battle damage on the tank itself. I know it's kind of a thing on the entire Seige toy line, is that they've been doing this battle damage thing, and to be quite frank, some of it doesn't look as good on some of the other toys from what I've seen, in pictures, but I haven't seen them in person, so it's kind of something I haven't seen. As far as rolling is concerned, he does have wheels on the bottom, of course the pegs for, the different Siege ports that, because the whole gimmick behind this line is that you can attach different weapons on all of the ports, in his different modes. But he does roll, which is great. You can have the jet flying above it, or I don't think that there's a way to actually get them in tow with one another. It is a thing with the original Flywheels, is that the toy, the way it worked was you would take the jet and you would place it on top, and once it was placed on top, you would press down once it was connected the right way, and it would auto transform, where it would literally pop open. But the problem was, and the reason why I decided to skip the toy growing up and as an adult, is because the arms have no articulation, which I'll show you like how the articulation was from that with this toy here in robot mode. And with the guns themselves, the tank barrel here, which does turn to the blaster, and I have the other gun attached here, they do detach, which is good, but it looks weird without any weapons, in the ports. So I like to put, myself, I like to put the guns on the two ports here, just because it does make him look, better. Also because the blaster, if it's in that middle port, it doesn't face forward. It's almost kind of on a down angle, and it doesn't look right. So, like, when you see it, you're like, okay, I think I kind of like it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like facing down. Like, well, what is he shooting? Just something like right in front of him? So you want to put him like so, and then he's able to at least fire, and then you can have him, of course, him flying in. He is a true Duocon, and what I mean by that is that the other Duocon that came out back in 1987 was Battle Trap, and they decided with the Power of the Primes, I believe it's Power of the Primes, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I get Power of the Primes and Titan's Return, and sometimes Combiner Wars as well, almost confused into one toy line, because, well, it was the Prime Wars trilogy, so the actual toy line just kind of seem to blend together into like one thing. But, you know, Battle Trap here was designed for this new toy line where he has two separate robot modes and then, of course, combines into one robot mode, whereas Flywheels does not have that. But what is really cool is that they do have a lot of playability with one another. And just so you can see some size comparisons here, I've got the purple dinosaur Barney Decepticon, aka Cindersaur, which he won't stand very well, and some Micromasters. My wife saw these in the store and was like, you have to have them. They are awesome looking. You're getting them. I said, okay, that works for me. And any woman that tells you, I'm buying you Transformers because I want to, keep them. Well, or any significant other, I should say. But anyway, just put these guys to the side here, and we will start getting into the transformation. Now, something to take note of with the tank bottom is that sometimes these don't really stick in very well, but it has to do a little bit with how everything is lined up. If it's not lined up properly, then the actual port right here, or heart right here, won't close properly, and then what you'll get is it kind of like sticks out. But I think it actually looks cool, even if it's sticking out just a little bit, because it does feel like a, you know, like the body of a tank without the actual turret attached. And it just looks really cool when you have both guns attached. So you pop these open, and then this part right here is where a lot of people have a little bit of a trouble, because if it doesn't stick to those pegs right there, then it actually attaches in there. If it's not lined up properly, they won't connect. And you can kind of already see it separates, the feet separate as you're doing it. And then what you do is pop it open like so. Close these legs up, which actually what you're supposed to do is fold the feet like so and close it, and you have the lower half. Just something to take note of, because it's something that, like, whenever I was a kid, and I'll admit this as an adult too, I kind of still think this way when it comes down to Transformers. Transforming is, and I'm just transforming him back so you can kind of see this. You can make it where, like, okay, this pops up this way and forms, you know, the legs and closes, and now what you have is that he's still rolling in lower, you know, in his lower portion, so that the jet can come in and transform. It's just kind of something that, you know, I always did whenever I played with Transformers. When I, you know, or at least, you know, thinking about it, kind of like, how would they transform in motion? And you would see, like, the one part would transform this way, and while it was still in motion. I think that's something that the sometimes the you know, cartoons would do, is you would see it transforming in action. But here you pop open the arms here, and you can see this, like, actual port here. This will fold up, and the arms will pop out. And just so you can kind of see it a little bit closer, if you can kind of see these parts on the sides, they close over, and that's what actually forms the outside of the abdomen. And you pop open the fists. And again, something that, like, whenever I'm thinking about the transformation, I'm always thinking about form feet and legs, form arms and body, or form arms and torso, depending upon if you're watching, you know, Go Lion Voltron or Die Rugger Vehicle Voltron, is, you know, forming everything without folding this part down, which is the head. And then we close it in like so, and pop this down. Get him in like so. And there you have Flywheels in his robot mode, in all his glory, ready to take on any Autobots that are in his path. And his gun can can merge. You can either have it where he has 2 separate guns, or he has 1 long rifle, and he can carry it like so. So just taking a quick, I'm going to pop this out. Taking a look at the robot mode, he does have arm articulation. He has some swivel going on. He has articulation, of course, part of the transformation. He has angle tilt, and it really can't go up and down as much as you like without actually watching. You can go up and down this way to get some dynamic poses. When I first was playing with the toy, I was trying to bend the knees, and I couldn't quite figure out how to bend the knees properly. What it is that he has a little bit of a clearance issue with the connectors to when he's in vehicle mode, so you have to bend the knees a certain way. But he does have pretty good knee articulation. He does have thigh swivel, and he has a ball joint. I think it's a ball joint for his head. Well, it's definitely tilted enough that you can get in there. And I'm going to get a good close up of his face, so you can take a look there. And he has a lot of really cool playability. You can, of course, put different things on his pegs. Put the arm, the guns on them, and fold the wings back if you need to get a little bit, maybe some seeker design, or you can just give him his guns. But now we are going to, okay, so now he's transformed. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put him over here, and we are going to do some size comparisons. Okay, for the size comparisons, we are going to start off with his Duocon buddy, Battle Trap, in his robot mode, which this makes me happy to have updated versions of these toys, because the original toys, their arms had no articulation, or Battle Trap had no arms whatsoever, and the arms on Flywheels, I know it's Skytread with the toy, you can only put the gun on his arm, and the arms can only do this, and the feet were stuck together because it was just kind of part of the way the transformation was. So this is just a fantastic update to the original toy in so many ways. I really, really, really like this toy. It just does a lot, does it a lot better. I even think it does it better than Battle Trap. I think that Battle Trap suffers from the fact that he has 2 robot modes in addition to, one robot mode where they combine, whereas Flywheels, Skytread, is a really great representation of the character, and is just a good toy overall. And also, the ports on them are actually interchangeable. So you can take, Battle Trap here, pop him apart, and put him on the lower torso of Flywheels. And you can take lower portion of Battle Trap, put it with the upper portion of Flywheels. I don't like calling him Skytread, but that's his official name. And there you can see the 2 of them standing next to each other. And for a little bit of size comparison, let's bring in Cinderstore. Let's also bring in a sword, which is the 2 Micromasters brought together to form a sword. And let's take them out of the way. And let's actually put them back together where they... Okay, to bring some more Decepticons in, so you can see some of his other 1987 Decepticons you have, which Cyclonus was a re-release in 1987, but this is Reveal the Shield Cyclonus. You have my Generations Scourge with a Target Master. That is a third-party Target Master because that toy did not have a Target Master. Let's move this over, and let's bring in Counterpunch. to get a nice size comparison there. And why not? Let's bring in Rumble and a leader class Soundwave, which is the movie Soundwave, which is a Titan's Return remold, but standing tall. And here we got a nice little army of Decepticons, you know, for you. I know this is Frenzy, but I'm still gonna call him Rumble. It is what it is. That's what I call him. That's Rumble. But anyway, let's bring these guys out of the forefront, and let's bring in good old Flywheels again. Focusing in on him. Flywheels is a really awesome toy. I think that he is definitely worth your time if you are going to invest in any of the Transformers from the Seige toy line. It's a great update to the character. I was really impressed because, again, I saw the G1 toy in person and I was not impressed. That, you know, even in 1987, I didn't like the fact that, you know, him and the battle chargers and the throttle bots, they all don't really have arms. So this is a great update to the character in so many ways. Well worth your time buying for pretty much, you know, if you really, really dig the whole idea behind Duocons. The only Duocon I don't have is Overlord of the, of the new, of what was it? Was it Titan's Return or was it Power of the Primes? Again, I get those two lines confused, but I missed out on Overlord, and he is definitely a character I would like to have alongside, kind of like he's like the leader of the Duocons kind of thing, and it would be kind of something nifty to see them all alongside one another. But overall, I really, really dig this toy. I think it is definitely worth your time, your investment. You should definitely get your hands on it if you can, if you find it in stores. And I want to thank James Redhouse in Louisville, Kentucky again for finding me these toys, because I did not see them in stores in my area, because my local toy stores really, really stink when it comes down to inventory and stock. But I think it is definitely worth your investment. If you find these toys online, definitely pick them up. But want to know what you guys think. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. I've got more Transformers discussion videos and content galore coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for that. You can follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram, and you can also, if you wish to do so, support me on Patreon. But as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.